Why did I write this shit song? Because I have to, and so do you. If we want to write a good song, well, first we're going to have to write a lot of bad songs. Ask yourself a question. When you first started playing your instrument, were you great? I bet you weren't even good. We have to walk before we can run. What about when you were learning to read and write? Was the first word you could spell psychopharmacology or anti-disestablishmentarianism? Or was it cat or hat? Here's what Ed Sheeran said of songwriting. Quote, "You view it as a dirty tap. When you switch the dirty tap on, it's going to flow with dirty water for a substantial amount of time. Then clean water's going to start flowing. And now and then you'll get a bit of but as long as it gets out of you, then it's fine. With songs, you're going to write songs at the beginning. You are." End quote. Right, well that's enough about why we should write a load of bad songs. Now let's look at some musical concepts that can help us write some of these songs. And a very cool one is polyrhythms. A polyrhythm, as the name might suggest, is when we have two or more rhythms following the same pulse reference beat which have been subdivided in different ways. Let me explain this with a few examples. Here we have a very common 4/4 time signature. This means that we have 4 crotchets or quarter notes in a bar of our music. And that gives us a pulse of 4 beats in a bar. But there are many other ways I can divide this bar of music up. I could divide it into 3 beats, 5 beats, 7, 9, 12, and these are all different subdivisions. And if we play 2 or more of these different subdivisions at the same time, we have a polyrhythm. Here's the bar divided into 4. And here's the bar divided into 3. And if we play them at the same time, we have our polyrhythm, our 3 against 4 polyrhythm, which sounds like this. Pretty cool, hey? We could have 5 against 4, which sounds like this. We can have 3 against 2, and that sounds like this. The 3 against 2 is probably the easiest polyrhythm to play and the most popular, so much so that it has its own name. It is often called a hemiola. And we don't have to just stop at 2 different rhythms either. We could layer 3 or more on top of each other. We could have a 5 against 4 against 3, for example. Let's listen to that. This opens up the possibility for us to create some incredibly rhythmical, complex and interesting music. What is not considered to be a polyrhythm is a subdivision of 4 against 8, because we would just end up having a 4 and another multiple of 4 that divides the beat in exactly the same way, but in half. We would not perceive that as 2 rhythms. We would not hear that as a polyrhythm. I played you lots of examples of polyrhythms there, but so far, nothing that we could really describe as music. So let me finish by playing you an actual piece of music that features a polyrhythm. Now this is a piece by the composer Frédéric Chopin, and it is a very, very, very beautiful and a very well-known piece. This is his Fantasia in C# minor. Well, there is just a tiny snippet of a piece I really implore you to listen to, especially if you're interested in polyrhythms. Okay, now it's time to listen to the song I have written for this video. This is song 8 out of 100 on our challenge to write 100 songs, and this song is called Someone Else's Cliche.
His words are always someone else's cliche. I see the end now, I guess I'm prophetic. 'Cause I'll do any goddamn thing that she says, and I just can't figure out pathetic. I don't wanna find out you're a notch on his bedpost, but before I can even doubt, there's 100 confirmations of what I feel the most. She says hello and her lips perform a burlesque, and seemingly dances more coolly when she rejects my requests. I wonder, will this substance keep me on, or am I just trying to spring a spring that I have already sprung? I don't wanna find out you're a notch on his bedpost, but before I can even doubt, there's 100 confirmations of what I feel the most. I don't wanna find out you're a notch on his bedpost.
Well, there we have it. Song 8 out of 100 done. And what did I learn from this song? That writing bad songs is not only inevitable, it's necessary. In doing research for this video, I found time and time again that creatives would talk about this, about making bad art. Doesn't matter if it was a painter, a writer, a musician, they would all talk about making bad art and how it was a necessary step. Even the ancient Romans and the Greeks, the Stoics, you can even find quotes by them mentioning this very subject. So let's not get too disheartened about the quality of our music at this stage. Rather, let's just get the song done, and we do need to get it done and finished, and then move on to the next one. Now today we also talked a lot about polyrhythms. So if you can think of any songs that you really like that feature polyrhythms, please put them in the comments. I'd love to know what they are. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and please join me in the next video and the next song. As far as I'm concerned, that's a one taker.